Um, I want to start by saying that I'm a bit overwhelmed. I've been kind of overwhelmed all day and a little emotional. And I think, oh God, she's going to cry this early on. I think it's because today I'm debuting a piece of my mum into the world, and to be able to do that in this same space as so many incredible writers and their fantastic books is a really precious feeling, and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you for the virtual hug, Zoe. So this book kind of goes through my childhood, losing my mum, and then having to be a woman without her, and the reflections then on childhood in adulthood. So I'm going to read a few poems now that I hope will give a sense of that. And I'm going to start with a prose poem called Jasmine. Rain, how she was Jasmine and I was Briony, both named for plants and thirsting for a downpour in the same way. Our skin bruised from playing hide and seek between the old caravans, some attached to cars and others propped on piles of bricks, the perfect picture of mortality, my best friend and me, 5 years old and giggling next to their splintered remains. Rain, how we sang in it before we'd heard of Gene Kelly or Nick Lucas, who found whispers of themselves decades beyond their voices in the offbeat trills of children who knew the words but not the melody. Somehow we made our warbling work, spinning an umbrella each like showgirls, not knowing where we learned those moves, only that they were ours and we were theirs. Rain, how our fathers rigged up the festival swing boats together and saved us the red one at the end. Bare-breasted women painted on each side so the drops ran down them like sweat. And we understood that our bodies would become like theirs one day, but not today. Today we were pirates, and a gale swept us through the seas of our song, living our childhoods for the first time, for the only time. The next piece is called Ampersand. Along the coast of Wales, there's a place I forgot about, where I taught my brother how to draw ampersands with an empty razor shell. Like that, he asked me, and I lied to him so I could see the sun shine out his eyes. He threw down the shell in a little triumph and cracked it in a footprint, splintering its skeleton into a mosaic, embedding it in the grains of every carapace. We chased oyster catchers who muddied their legs against lugworm castings until his hand burrowed into my fist and spread my fingers around his. I can see forever, he told me. And I wished we were limpets kissed to rocks and not crushed in the tread of our shoes. But all the shells were broken in that last frontier of childhood. We ignored the soap in the rock pools and the bags we pretended were jellyfish and the bodies of drink cans bleeding their rust by the stone steps we used to sit on and imagine were a castle wall from which we could protect this place. But we were only children, and we didn't belong there, and we only wanted to play and love before we forgot how to recognize our world. And that will segue us into childhood. Out by the lake, we played marbles on the concrete. My palms spread wide on the ground as we crouched, and grains of stone needled their way into my skin, left dents in my fingers where they should be whole. My brother sang under his breath to the last song that came through the radio in our dad's truck, snapped his best marble forward and smiled at the clack of glass on glass. Excitement exhaled through his teeth. I missed, mine rolling away and dropping off the short lip of the concrete into the grass, each blade peeling back. I tried to chase it, but it disappeared through my hands, drowning invisible to the brown earth of the lake bed. I'm going to skip back now to one of the first poems in the collection. And if you were at the other Broken Sleep reading I did, you will have heard me read this one. But it's my personal favorite in the collection. And it's called Sunset. All you ask for on your last earth night is a glass of water. I hope you know what it really means. Life thirsts to fill you. Stay with me, please. How the skin cracks around your eyes, blackening with the slow dilation of forever. How the milk of your bones pours and empties, drowns you from the inside out. How brittle you become in the pallid echoes of moonlight. Don't go, not just yet. There is so much of this world left to share together. How we will go to Rome and stand at the feet of gods. Hadrian's Venus, Saturnalia until sunset, Jupiter burning. The depth of history you will miss as you cascade into it. How at Ostia Antica we dream of long dead stars reviving in the amphitheater. Chips of stonework, ovation of ghosts, applause and awake. All you ask for on your last earth night is a glass of water. And now I'm going the other way to the end, and I'm going to read the last poem in the book. It's just 8 lines, and it's called Sleep. She cries her whale song in the sea behind my eyes, her hair echoing rubies in the tissues of rippling sleep, where she whispers seaweed, freckles dreams in Greek fire, and sinks while I wait for her to wake once more. This was a bad day to wear this much eye makeup. Thank you very much.